Back in the 1800s, there was a French guy named Charles-Louis Hanon, or I guess probably something like Charles-Louis Hanon. I don't know how to speak French. He wrote a book called The Virtuoso Pianist in 60 Exercises. There it is. Over the years, the book has become incredibly famous, and millions of kids around the world have used it at some point or another when they start to learn how to play piano. I personally used it when I started learning about 4 years ago, and I think it's wonderful. A bit tedious and irrelevant to do the entire thing, but we're going to use it strategically to help you develop some finger strength and dexterity and independence. Basically, the gist of it is this. Each exercise in the book is a repetitive sequence of notes that you play with both hands, climbing up the piano and then coming back down. What I like about it is that the patterns are really easy to understand, but they get progressively harder to execute. Plus, because the exercises are simple to understand, you can concentrate fully on how your fingers are executing the patterns. Really focus on developing good technique. So important. Each day of the program, starting today, we're going to do 5 minutes of Hanon. That's it. No more, no less. We'll keep it to 1 or 2 exercises per day, and the focus will always be on precision and relaxation. When you first encounter a new pattern, spend some time and play it slowly with hands separately, or together depending on your comfort level. If you like, you can play it without a metronome first, but once you have the pattern solidly in your hands, then grab a metronome and set it to a comfortable speed. Over time, you can begin to bump the speed up, but like I said, at first, super slow, just so that you can get it comfortably, precise, and relaxed. I'll be guiding you through this process at first, but as the program goes on, you can start setting your own metronome goals. If you're just starting to play the piano, these exercises will be challenging, so watch out. But they give a lot of bang for the buck. They really get you in touch with your fingers. So, with enough time and enough consistency, these exercises will make your fingers stronger, steadier, more dexterous, and much more skilled. For this first video on Hanon exercises, I'm going to walk you through the whole process. Here is the first exercise out of the Hanon book. It goes like this. Notice how the same pattern repeats and it ascends all the way up the piano. We have this first note, skip a note, now use all the fingers, now we end on a note 1 higher, skip a note, all the way up. Once we get up to this place up here, we reverse the order. So this G is typically going to be your reversal point. So we have, now reverse. Etc. And we'll play that pattern all the way until we get down to C. Most of the time, the Hanon exercises mirror each other as they go up and go down, but sometimes there'll be little subtle distinctions and you'll have to just watch through the whole video of me playing so that you can see what the full pattern is. Also, watch out for the turnaround when it comes up to the top. You want that to be smooth as well, and the turnaround when it gets all the way to the bottom. At the bottom, it goes. That's how we end up back at C. Okay, let's put this all in context for you. I'm going to do the whole exercise. I'm going to set my metronome here at 60 beats per minute. And I'm going to play at 16th notes. So it's going to sound like daka 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 daka. Okay. Of course, if I wanted to, I could continue all the way back up now that I got all the way down. Whoops, a little trouble. Notice I could use that last measure going down as the turnaround to get me back going up. Okay. When you approach a new Hanon exercise, simply consult the index of Hanon Exercises, watch me play it all the way through once, get the pattern into your hands, be mindful of the turnaround at the top and at the bottom, and set the metronome at a comfortable pace for yourself so that you can play through it smoothly. I want to make one more point about Hanon drills. Sometimes you're going to introduce yourself to a new Hanon drill and it's going to be tricky enough that you can't play it with the metronome yet, even at the slowest possible speed. If that happens to you, that's okay. Play without the metronome first and just get the pattern into your hands. So, for example, if this was the first one was giving you trouble, you just sit there, first note, there's the second note, there it is. You can play this at a time. You're just getting your fingers used to the motions. What fingers comes after the next? All that kind of stuff. Then you can set your metronome at the slowest possible speed. My metronome has a slowest possible speed of 40 beats per minute, and you can start playing on quarter notes. This is going to be very slow. Here we go. Etc. If that's excruciatingly slow to you, that is okay. The idea is just set the metronome to a place where you can comfortably play the piece with precision and with consistency and with relaxation. Once you get there and you're starting to work with the metronome, it's going to be much easier to start pushing the metronome speed higher and higher. If you get it, say, at 40 beats per minute, then tomorrow come back and you're at 50 beats per minute. Next day, come back, you might be at 60, or you might be at 55, or you might be at 52. It doesn't matter. Wherever you are that day is totally okay. But the idea, once again, just to reiterate, is get the pattern into your hands first, then use the metronome and lock it in. A major focus when you play Hanon drills needs to be on developing evenness in the fingers. What do I mean by that? When you first start out, typically your thumb is the strongest finger and your ring finger is the weakest. This has an effect on your playing dynamics. When you play a note with your thumb, it will tend to be stronger and louder than if you play a note with your ring finger. Hanon drills are great because they ask you to concentrate on getting the same amount of volume out per finger. This is what I mean when I say evenness. So, when you're playing Hanon for now, no fancy accent patterns, no involuntary dynamic variations. You're going for perfect evenness across all fingers. As you can imagine, this is quite a challenge, especially as the exercises get more complex and you start having to isolate certain fingers in different ways. But practicing Hanon with a focus towards this, I guarantee you will see huge benefits down the line.